Yeah, let's start off with our campaign song, which is "You Can't Kick This Family Out of Brent." Who else said they were going to sing?
We'll all join in.
We'll all join in. Right, it's to the tune of "Coming Around the Mountains." Yeah,
You can't kick this family out of Brent. No, you can't kick this family out of Brent.
The children have grown up here, they have built their roots here. You can't shove this family out of Brent. Glenda told us who's out of Wales. Glenda told us who's out of Wales. If you can't afford to live here, you've got right to be here. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. No, you can't kick this family out of Brent. No, you can't kick this family out of Brent.
No, you can't!
The children have grown up here, they have built their roots here. You can't kick this family out of Brent.
No, you can't!
Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. If you can't afford to live here, you've no right to live here. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Last time. Oh, you can't move this family out of Brent.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't move this family out of Brent.
No, you can't.
All the children have grown up here, they built their roots here. You can't kick this family out of Brent.
No, you can't.
The other person, these people are directly responsible for what's happening to the Counihan family. The family have been put under terrible stress and pressure. Only this week, Sarah, who was 15, was taken to hospital from school because of the stress of what's going on with the family. And what we're saying here, the supporters in Kilburn, is that we've heard enough excuses and lies from Brent Council. We need action. We've had enough of their words and their windbaggery. With the support of the people here in Kilburn, and particularly the families and the women of the South Kilburn estate who've supported the family, we're going to defeat Brent Council, and we say that this is a victory for one, will be a victory for all. So once the Counans have been housed in Brent, then we want to fight for other families, and we're opposed to all of the cuts, the £41 million of cuts that have been imposed by the Labour Party here in Brent. We've had enough excuses. The family declared £18 a week income from some land they inherited in Ireland, heard nothing, and 18 months later Brent Council made them homeless. Now, Brent Council have actually lost, or claim that they've lost the paperwork conveniently. The family have put the land up for sale, and we've as yet had no response from Brent Council. So we're marching today. We're going to march down to the South Kilburn estates. We're going to rally at the Peel Precinct in South Kilburn. We're going to have speakers there to show Brent Council that Kilburn supports the Counans. We're saying housing for the Counans, housing for all, no to cuts in Brent. We're going to have speakers from the family and some of the campaigns who join us. We've got some of our great supporters with collecting things, because for instance our lovely banner that you can see, that costs £107. There are a lot of expenses to do with the campaign. We don't get Brent Council support, unsurprisingly, so we do need your contributions.
Light my fire. We want to light some fires here. We want to light everybody with emotion, with burning emotion against the injustice to this honourable, decent family. We want to fire the people of Camden. We want to fire the people of Brent. We want to fire the people of London to shout out justice for the Counihan. Justice for the Counihan. That's my word. Now, as we know, Glenda Jackson may upset us. Brent Council may vilify us. But history will vindicate us. History will prove us right. Nominating Counihan family. Solidarity.
Clarence is going to sing later, I think I just heard him say. Thank you to the Kilburn Unemployed Workers Group who established the campaign in the first place. I'm very pleased to hand over to Anthony Kunan, who's going to be saying, he's going to be speaking later on at the rally in the South Kilburn estate, but he's just going to give us a quick message now, so please give a welcome to Anthony.
Hi there. Just like thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. This is an email that my 15-year-old daughter Sarah sent to Councillor Mohammed Butt. I understand that you have received many emails regarding the case of what is happening to my family. But I wanted to write an email about us 5 kids and how we have been affected by the mistreating of my family. Since we were given the eviction date in April, I have been seeing a counsellor for feeling very low, because I feel, and I still feel, like no one wants or is willing to help me and my family. My brother Aidan, who is 7, was in hospital a month ago for exhaustion. Because of travelling from Ealing to Kilburn in the morning and the other way around in the afternoon is too much, especially for kids of his age. I am the oldest of 5 children, and I cannot stand watching them suffer and being upset because of how we have been treated. We were told we would be in the house from 6 weeks to 3 months, and we have gone far past both time spaces. My youngest brother Vinny, who is 4 and has autism, has also suffered far too much. Before we left Priory Park Road, Vinny was progressing so well with the autism. He had acknowledged all of our individual names and had nearly stopped biting his hands completely. Now, he calls a few of us by the same name, and the biting and the noise that comes with it is worse than ever. He bites out of frustration of not being able to talk, and he has no voice to express how he's feeling throughout his whole situation, hence the increase of the biting. Another thing that is horrible to see is my mum and dad, the 2 people who are our wall, feeling like this is their fault and that they have not done enough. My dad feels guilty for inheriting the land from his dad. He does not deserve to feel like that. He was the only child to inherit the land, and it should not be stopping us from being housed, as our housing isn't a luxury, it's a human right. My mum is also suffering a great deal because of this situation. My mum was born with a hip disorder and needs to have a hip replacement that she has been putting off because she feels it can't be done with the circumstances at the moment. She has a walking stick that she was told to use and can't, as she now has to carry Vinny as his autism has gotten so bad. She can barely walk. Some days she can't walk at all, and it's horrible seeing my mum like this. My parents are very strong people. They have been through a lot, and to see them like this is completely new to me, my brothers and my sister. Thank you for taking the time to read my email. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I think we'd have to agree with Sarah that the Counahans are very strong people, but they've got strong supporters here in Kilburn as well. We're not going to give up this fight until the family is housed. And what we're saying is a victory for one is a victory for all. Housing for the Counahans, housing for all, no cuts in Brent. Come and join us on the march at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We need your support, we need more people getting involved in the campaign. We can't see the family go through this suffering anymore. Brent Council need to do their job. They need to be providing housing for people in this area. The family are not looking for something for free, just social housing. They're a family who've lived here in Brent all the children's lives, and just for the sake of £18 a week income from some land in Ireland, they've been made homeless. Brent Council is saying to them to go and live in an empty field in the west of Ireland, and for Anthony to commute to his job at Cricklewood Bus Garage from Galway in the west of Ireland. This is the quality of the professional advice and the caring advice that we get from Brent Council. These people, if they can't help the Counahans, they need to stand aside, and we need some people in Brent Town Hall who can help and can provide services for the local people. So what we're saying is support the campaign, housing for the Counahans, housing for all, no to the cuts in Brent. I'd like to call up Barney from Fight Racism, Fight Imperialism.
Hi, my name's Barney. First of all, I want to say thank you to the family, to the Counihan-Sanchez family, for standing up and fighting back for their rights. Their struggle for a right to housing is obviously the same struggle that we face for a decent house and a decent home. In the face of massive cuts to welfare benefits and payments for public housing in this country. So thank you very much for standing up. We should take inspiration from their fight, and that's why us from FRFI and all these people here are standing in solidarity with them in their struggle. Now we all know that for decades, successive governments, whether they're Labour or Tory, have sold off our public housing. They've sold off council housing and refused to build new council homes for new generations to live in. So most people in London are living in a housing crisis where they cannot afford to pay ridiculous private rents, which go up as much as 10% every year. So more and more families all over London are facing eviction from their houses. At the same time, they're cutting housing benefit, slashing benefit to families and people all over London, all over the country, and the result will be more and more evictions. Now when they announced the cuts to housing benefits, they said to the families who won't be able to live in central London anymore, they can move out to the edge of London. They don't care, they just say move along, get along, find a new place to live. For the Counihan family, they said move to Wales. Yeah? Get out of London and move to Wales if you can't live here. This is how the government, Brent Council, and this government treats people. If you can't afford to live here, then get out. And there's one word for that, that is social cleansing, yeah? Forcing people who are poor out of communities, out of Brent, out of central London, to move miles away from your family, miles away from any kind of support. So it's typical of the government which puts the rights of bankers and the rights of people to speculate on property and make millions of pounds out of property before the rights of ordinary people to a decent flat. So I'm asking people in this street today who believe in rights and want to stand up for their own rights to housing to join our march down to the estate and to make clear that we will not be pushed around and be harassed by this government of millionaires and thieves, and will stand up for our basic right to housing and our basic right to services. So maximum respect to the family, and yeah, we're with you today, alright? Thank you.
Hello there, comrades. Hello there, comrades, brothers and sisters. I'm Paul Summers. I'm very proud to be a member of this campaign. I'm also a member of Brent Trust and the International I want to bring you greetings from my comrades across the world in Spain, France, Argentina and the United States. I'm sure they would stand with us in this campaign. These are difficult times. The ruling class are making a massive attack on everything about our lives, and they don't understand anything about our lives. This means we have to contest and dissent all the time. Every struggle counts, every struggle has to link up, and we have to use the strength we've got, the solidarity of our class, which this campaign demonstrates brilliantly. We've fought together over recent weeks. This campaign is about 2 months old. We punch well above our weight. We should take cognizance of that, because actually we live in a world where the people who rule over us and make decisions for us treat us like we don't exist. We're telling them loud and clear we do exist. We're here. We're going to stand up, all of us, together and fight back. I just want to make a couple of announcements for organisations that can't be here. There's also Save Our 7 Libraries campaign in Brent. They can't be here today, but they also send messages of support. They're having a meeting as I speak. Next weekend, next Saturday, is the 2nd anniversary of Councillor Butt's closing of 7 of the libraries in this borough. There's a wake next Saturday afternoon. there's going to be a torchlit march between the 7 libraries, ending in a wake at the Windermere pub on Windermere Avenue in Preston Park. I'll end by saying, you know, we could actually afford to drop the word campaign from this campaign, because I feel the council had taken on a family of 7 members when they started this. I don't know how many people are in the campaign, but it's a couple of hundred. Hopefully we'll have more after this. I think Brent Council need to know that the Counihan-Sanchez family is now 200 people and growing. They better deal with us now, because if they don't, they hopefully will have thousands of us fighting back.
See the nice banner over there behind Nathan. That cost us £107. So we do have costs for the campaign. We're going to have a burst of the song, and then Robin, you're going to come and speak. All right. Okay. So yes. Oh, where's my singers have disappeared. We're going to have another burst of the song. Alan, are you available? Song surprise.
Everyone's a singer.
Surprise. We need some more singers. So yeah, you know the words by now. Here's our composer Alan. Well done, Alan. So let's give it another blast. Oh, you can't kick this family out of Brent. Oh, you can't kick this family out of Brent. Oh, the children have grown up here. They have built their roots here. You can't kick this family out of Brent. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. If you can't afford to live here, you've no right to be here. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Oh, you can't boot this family out of Brent. Oh, you can't boot this family out of Brent. Oh, the children have grown up here. They have built their roots here. You can't kick this family out of Brent. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. If you can't afford to live here, you've no right to be here. Glenda told the Counans go to Wales. Right, last night. Oh, you can't kick this family out of Brent. Oh, you can't kick this family out of Brent. Oh, the children have grown up here. They have built their roots here. You can't kick this family out of Brent. That inspiring message from Barney and Paul. We're going to have another burst of the song in a few minutes, but Nathan from Traveller Solidarity Network is going to give a quick message. Nathan has been involved with the Dale Farm campaign, fighting a very brave fight against eviction like the Counans have, but I'll let Nathan tell you about his campaign, so I'd like to hand over to Nathan for a minute.
Hello guys, I just want to start saying thank you for inviting me. I'm honoured to be here, and your fight is everyone else's fight. We've been fighting with travellers for the right to have a place to live for about 2 years now, and it's the same principle, you know. The right to a home should be the right for everyone, whether your name's Counihan, Sheridan, McCarthy or Smith, you know, you should have the right to a home. And local councils now are getting more and more powers to evict families, you know. The localism bill, Eric Pickles has given powers to councils to basically tell you guys to leave and not have any responsibility to give you guys a home. And it's the same with the families at Dale Farm. They've been ignoring them, just pretending they're not even a member of their own community. And I feel that that's the kind of thing that the central government have been giving powers to local councils to be doing more and more over the last few months. So thank you guys for inviting us. We've got a demo on the 19th of October, and I've got some flyers and stuff, but really today's about you guys, and I'm really happy to be here and fight with you guys. So yeah, thanks very much guys.
Hello, thank you. We're very proud to be here. We're going to march and be loud and noisy on the streets so that people know what we're about. The more people that stand up with each other and connect the struggles together, as the previous comrade said, the more powerful we will be and the more people we will win. I just wanted to remind some people about some important things. Number one is the 45th anniversary of Che Guevara's death in combat around these days now. And we remember Comrade Che Guevara, an Argentinian, a Cuban, a revolutionary, an internationalist who stood up and still stands up around the world for the future of humanity that is about people, about healthcare, education, nation not about profit from minority, but a world which is fit for human beings to live in. And on that note, and on the note of Cuba, we want to talk about Venezuela. Tomorrow the people of Venezuela go to the polls for the presidential election. It's the Bolivarian revolution for the last 10 years that have lifted people out of poverty, out of illiteracy. The Bolivarian revolution has given people schools, homes, healthcare, and that's what it's about, building a society fit for people to live in, where people are empowered to take their world forward. So we salute the people of Venezuela, we say long live Chavez and victory in the polls tomorrow, and we salute the people of Cuba, and we remember Che Guevara, and Cuba for over 50 years has been at the forefront of building another world and showing that another world is possible. Long live socialism, viva Cuba, viva Venezuela!
So our march today is calling for housing for the Counihan family, a very well-known family here in Brent. The latest advice they had from Brent Council was that the family should go and live in an empty field in the west of Ireland, and then that Anthony, who works as a bus driver in Cricklewood Garage, should commute every day to his job at Cricklewood Garage. This is the quality of the caring and professional advice that we get from Brent Council. They're an absolute disgrace. So we're saying to Mohammed Butt and to Janice Long, the head of housing, that you are directly responsible for the problems that you've caused to the Counihan family. This week, Sarah was taken into hospital. Luckily, she's recovered and she's here today. But that was directly due to the stress of what's happening to the family, and also the stress of not getting replies from Brent Council. Young Vinny is 4, he's autistic. The long journeys to school every day are having a very damaging effect on his health. We've written to Brent Council, the family have written to Brent Council with doctors' letters, and they just don't seem to care. So we're saying today, loud and clear, that Brent Council, we want you to do your job. You're there to provide, you've been elected to provide services to the people of Brent, and if you can't do that, Mohammed Butt and Janice Long, you need to stand down, and we need to get some other councillors who can actually provide those services. We're fed up of excuses, we're fed up of this story that it's all down to the government. We've had no help from Brent Council whatsoever. The only MP who's given the family any support was a Conservative MP from Ealing, but Brent Council have been absolutely useless. So we need that message to go out very strongly today, that Kilburn supports the Counihan family, no to the £41 million of cuts in Brent. A victory for the Counihans is a victory for all. So we're asking for your support. Come and join us on the march. We're going to march down to the South Kilburn estate. We'll have some other speakers there today. I'd like to call some of the other supporters of the campaign. I'll do that later on, I'm getting an indication. Have we got any other organisations who'd like to give a message? Or any other supporters of the campaign?
Right, so what we're saying is housing for the Counihans, housing for all, no cuts in Brent. Please take our leaflets, give a donation if you can, come and join us on the march. The Counihan family have been made homeless by Brent Council, they've been forced harder in the day. The Brent Council has taken family to live in the west of Ireland. Effectively they're saying to hell on earth. What we're saying to Mohammed Butt,
today to compare the dignity and the courage and the honesty of the Kunan family with the lies, the excuses and the incompetence from Brent Council. They've even lost the paperwork where the family declared the £18 a week income. So how can they go ahead and make the family homeless when they've lost the paperwork where the family declared £18 a week income? It's just farcical, and this is the standard response that we get from Brent Council. On the 14th of August, the family had a public meeting organised by supporters like the Kilburn Unemployed Workers Group, whose family's there in front of me. And at that meeting it was agreed that the family were going to fight an open public campaign. The demands of the campaign are that Brent should provide social housing for the Counihans in South Kilburn. But the campaign is opposed to all of the cuts in Brent. We don't believe in any selective deals, in doing deals with people like Mohammed Butt, where he's going to post some cuts and not others. And also, the campaign on people at the meeting said that we were prepared to take direct action to force Brent to house the Counihans. We need you all to join us. We need local people to put pressure on Brent. We've had fantastic support today over the last few weeks. We've also called on Brent Council to set a needs budget for all the people in Brent, not to slavishly follow government policy by implementing £41 million of cuts in Brent. Brent should be building housing for families like the Counihans, and if they're not going to do that, they should stand aside and let some other people in who are going to do that. Since the family have launched the campaign, they've held protests at Brent Town Hall. The family were forced, and their supporters were forced to occupy the council chamber at Brent Town Hall after being refused to speak. We've marched on the Kilburn Highway, both with permission and without permission. We protested at the meeting with Glenda Jackson MP, who told the family that they should go to Wales. And as I said earlier, Isabel challenged Mohammed Butt over his implementing the cuts and his refusal to help the family. And all we've had from him is lies and excuses, and from all of the councillors in Brent.
We have another assistant this time.
The Kunan family campaign has always wanted to support others in Brent affected by the cuts. And one example of that is Nigel Farminger, the tragic case of Nigel, who took his own life when his benefits were cut. It was a really nice protest today, and I think Nick's going to say a word in a minute as well. We're proud to remember our friend Nigel, who was in his 40s when he took his life after his benefits were cut. So what I'm saying is that the backbone of this campaign have been the Kilburn residents who've done so much to support us, and especially the women in the area who are fighting for a better future for our children. The Labour Party in Brent have treated the Kunan family with contempt. Some of the other organisations in Brent are not treating this as a priority, but it's great to see the support today from Kilburn Unemployed Workers Group, from Global Women's Strike, the Trades Council, and all of the other organisations as well. The Swan Network, going to be speaking in a minute, I believe. You can see the banner there. Thank you, lovely to see you here. And our other supporters who've come from near and far. Probably most people are aware that the family were made homeless in Brent in April. They've had 2 eviction orders served on them. The Counihans are a strong family with tremendous community support, but the pressure on the family is intense. Sarah, who is only 15, was taken to hospital this week, suffering from the stress of the battle to get Brent to meet their responsibilities. Vinny, age 4, is autistic. I'm glad to say that Sarah's here today and in place for. Vinny, age 4, is autistic, and the long journeys each day are harming his health. Brent just don't seem to care. Aidan and Isabel have also had health problems. And we're just saying that this is such a cruel thing that the family are having to go to, so it's fantastic to see that Kilburn supports the kids today, the Counihans today.
So you actually crush these on because you're...
Janice Long and Mohammed Butt, the leader of the Brent Council, are directly responsible for the health problems suffered by the family. And we hold them responsible for any problems that the family will suffer in the future. We want them to do their job and provide services. The family were made homeless after declaring £18 a week from land they inherited in Ireland. The family offered to give the land to Brent in January. This was refused. The family have now put the land up for sale, but there's been no response from Brent. The last advice from Brent housing was that families should go and live in an empty field without sanitation in the west of Ireland, and that Anthony should commute from Galway to his job as a bus driver at Cricklewood Garage. This is the standard of care and professional support that we get from Brent Council. We really need to do something about this, I'm sure you agree. Brent are engaged in social cleansing, trying to push working class families like the Counans out of the borough just to get them off the books and save a few pounds. But with your support today, we will defeat Brent Council and we'll win a victory for the Counans and a victory for all. Join us in our campaign, no cuts, full stop. Thank you very much.